I'll be interested to see where Steph Curry goes. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go to a major brand, just due to, quite frankly, how much money he has. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need a $300 million contract from Adidas. He's not going to Nike. I don't think he'd ever go to a brand that LeBron wears, and it has no slight to LeBron. I just think that's always been a guy that he's competed against and won against. He's not going to the Nike brand that's so heavily coveted LeBron and KD. You know what I'm saying? Like that, they've been
Right.
the two shoulders that Nike's kind of. I mean, yeah, they've kind of rode on this entire time. I don't think Steph's even touching that. I don't think Adidas is in the frame of it, nor is it fitting, just due to where he's at in his career. I don't think Adidas wants to pour money into that. Um, so from a brand standpoint and then from a personal player standpoint, he's at a point now where he can have his own brand, and he does. He has guys like De'Aaron Fox and some other players who wear his sneaker. That's where I see it going. I think he's going to try to, obviously, there's a legal thing there that has to happen, to where he has to get the rights to his own brands and stuff like that from Under Armour. I would assume an Under Armour would do right by him, but that's where I see him going. Him having his own brand.
Right,
Um,
but people need to understand it's going to take a while, right? Because they're still making the Under Armour Steph Currys. It takes like a year for people, like they're still in production. They're still going to have to sell them, so
yeah,
you don't just get to move on right away. They're going to be selling them. You
but
still wore
it's
them the other
it's
night.
it's weird seeing him warm up in Kobe's, and even though,
Can I
like you
ask you
said,
something? Can I ask you something? He played in the Under Armour Steph Currys. He warmed up in the Kobe's. If that was LeBron doing something like that, you guys would say he was an attention whore for warming up in those shoes. He didn't even play in them. But he definitely did that. Like he warmed up in Nikes and ended up still playing in the Under Armours. He did it. He's obviously sending a message, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And to your point, you're right. I'm serious. That's fair.
Because
I mean,
LeBron wears that Knicks towel. Remember that one time? It was like criticized. Like guy wants so much attention. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Not every. Maybe he
it's a
just wanted to
fair
wear some
point.
Kobe's.
It's a fair point. If LeBron wore Adidas shoes, whatever, I don't care. We as the people would attack him and say, "Man, this guy just can't get enough of the attention. Here he goes again." Because that's what we do with LeBron. It seems like time after time again. I do believe LeBron does do things for attention, and I do believe LeBron just does things because he's a human being, just like the rest of us. But he's one of the most popular people on the planet, so we just pick everything he does apart. I think he's a product of his own success and his own greatness. I really do believe that. So I think sometimes he does it to himself. I think sometimes LeBron doesn't do it to himself. Steph absolutely wore those Nike sneakers. He said he always wanted to, know what it's like wearing Kobe's. Steph, you know what it's like wearing Kobe's. You worn some Kobe's growing up. Cut it out. All right. You wore those sneakers because whatever's going on between you and Under Armour, I don't know what that is. Maybe the sales, the product brand. Apparently, the sales and some stuff has gone down over the years, and I don't really know the ins and outs of that, so I'm not going to speak on it. Whatever it is, it's not fruitful enough for Under Armour to continue to try to keep this marriage going, and there has to be some intent behind him knowingly wearing Nikes for the first time. And how long has he been in the league?
It's been a long time, man.
But he was with Nike coming out. He was
Right,
with
and he had a
Nike
lot of the
starting.
ankle situation. Remember, they had a lot of ankle injuries. That's why he signed that. I think it was like a 4-year, $36 million deal. I think when he won his first championship, he was like not super paid. Remember that?
Yeah, he wasn't. He was
obviously
like under.
made that
He was underpaid. He
Yeah.
was one of the most
Oh,
underpaid players in the history of the game at that time.
for sure.
So he was a Nike player once upon a time, and I do think he knew that would get attention. But listen, everybody, it was already announced prior to that, so that'd be different. If he did it without anybody knowing any of the ins and outs of what's going on Under Armour, people would be freaking out. Like, what is he doing? It was already announced prior to that game that they were ending their relationship. So at that point, I think it just gives him maybe the freedom to be like, man, I can do whatever I want. I'll hoop in the game, in my shoes because they're my shoes, but I'll warm up in all different types of stuff now. I think part of a hooper, like you want to wear Kobe's. I remember like when Kobe was a free agent, like we wore Jordans. He wore shoes sometimes that didn't even make sense. I saw him play in the crazy, or he played in the Jordan 8s. The Jordan 8s are heavy as they got like straps on them and all type of shit on them. Like they're not even like great basketball playing shoes, but like he played in them. So it's just like that's what you can do. I think it brings the kid out and kids again. I mean, and players again. Like because he's a sneaker free agent, he gets to be like the rest of us and be like, you know what, I'm gonna wear whatever I want. The crazy
You
thing is somehow Steph has more freedom than me. I can't even wear anything but Adidas. I'm still locked in. I'm still tied in with Adidas. If I was caught wearing Nikes, they'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
right.
I just don't think the attention is the same on what I'm wearing versus what Steph Curry's wearing.